So you've raised those arms up, cross them down, open them back out to the side. Take a lateral. So this is just that lateral Trikonasana. And then come back. We're going to play with a flat back. It will probably move on the diagonal or forward. It's going to be up to you. If you think you need a chair or your block, when you come back up again, grab it. I'm going to bring my arms in front of me. I'm going to let my legs stay straight, and I'm going to go forward and just let my gaze go down to the ground. I'm going to say that my head is higher than my hips right now, but you can take it all the way and then bring this back up. If you have to bend the knees, open those arms. Take another breath there. Bring the arms back up again. Take a breath. And then do that forward fold again. Those arms have come all the way up and forward fold. Now, if you have to, you put the arms out like an airplane. If you like, stretch into one knee, letting that other leg have a diagonal. Go through center, stretch to the other side, right? And those arms can be over your head or out to the sides. And again, my head is probably about perpendicular to my hips. Coming back through center, go to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Back through center, over to the other side. And then bring this all the way back up again. Bring your hands down in the center of your chest. And just take a pause there. Notice how circulation is shifted. Again, smile, if that seems appropriate. Inhale and exhale. Just find that quiet spot and see if the teeth will separate and you can smile, even with your eyes closed. See if you can feel the crinkle up on the cheeks with your eyes closed. So we're going to go to warrior 2 again. I'm going to rock open on the left side. Foot comes down. Open that warrior 2. Now, I'm going to raise my arms up. I'm going to cross my elbows. Now, usually if I come from the left side, my left elbow goes below, but it actually reversed all on its own. So this is Eagle on a Warrior, Virabhadrasana. Virabhadrasana on Virabhadrasana. That's what I meant to say. Now, if it feels appropriate, you can turn towards that warrior leg. And you can just hold that. And so that's a twist on the back. And just breathe. Again, we're looking at stability today. Inhale and exhale. Neck releases, jaw releases. Inhale and exhale one more time. And then you're going to go ahead and let those arms peel apart. And I'm opening back to extended warrior. But this time I'm going to let my hand go down my shin bone. I'm going to let the other arm stretch. You don't have to do it this way. You can keep that arm straight up from the heart. Inhale and exhale. Feel how the torso backs into the hips, right? Try not to pitch too far forward. 2 more breaths. If you can do 2 more breaths, 2 more breaths. If it looks up, you can look up. Otherwise, stay where you are. You're going to end up pulling this all the way back up. You're going to straighten that leg, bring that foot parallel. Make sure your feet are on the same line. Take a moment here and just stand with your feet, roll your shoulders a couple of times, pulling up. Sort of honoring the sun today, honoring the blue sky. Right? We don't need to eliminate anything because the beauty of the day is available to us. And then we're going to rock open to that other side, warrior 2 on that other side. Remember the right angle, it's entirely up to you. Depending upon how your knees feel, arms are going to open. Inhale and exhale. And then you're going to go ahead, you're going to raise those arms up above you, and your arms are going to cross. Try to make sure they cross in the opposite direction. I'm going to twist my body towards my knee. And take your time here. Sink down into those feet and heels. Inhale and exhale. You don't have to lift your head. You just keep your head where it's most comfortable. Inhale and exhale. Pushing down into those feet just a little bit more. And then you're going to go ahead, let them peel across. And the extended warrior. Again, these are about stability practices. Inhale and exhale. And again, can you find that connection and root through the back heel, right? My back heel is slipping today. Inhale and exhale. And then you're going to go ahead once again. You're going to lift this back up, rock into that heel. My arms just naturally dropped. We're going to go ahead, turn both feet out. I turned them out and my arms flew up. Come into the seated container and just give that a few breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. And in that container, sitting it down, just being in that breath. Containing whatever is necessary in you. And again, this is a hard posture to smile in because you're actually asking your thighs to smile. So see, find that smile. Ah, it's hard. And then when you're ready, you're gonna go ahead, pull it all the way back up. Release those arms. Turn the feet in. Lift into the toes. Turn the heels in. Rock into the heels. Turn the heels in. Into the toes. Do that micro lift on the toes again. I'm actually instantaneously going much higher than I thought I would. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to bend the knee, lift the heel, straighten the knee, put the heel down. 3 of those. And if it feels better to do arms above the head, do it that way. Smile. Bend the knee, lift the heel, straighten the knee, put the foot down. Oh, I've got to do that. Bend the knee, micro lift. Right? The knee really fights this today. Woo, put that heel down. That was 3 of them. If you want one more, go for one more. If you've done them, this is where I'm going to insert the chance for down dog. But if down dog is inappropriate for you, you're going to just go down, Utkatasana, hands touch the ground. And you're going to go ahead and just let those knees come to the ground and do cat and cow. So move through that cat and cow. Let the neck go, let the jaw slacken. If smiling is ridiculous here, because now gravity is pulling on your face, try it. As soon as I started to, I could feel the saliva in my mouth trying to like drool. Just be aware that is a possibility that you could start drooling if you try to smile while doing this. And again, there is a relationship between the hips and the jaw. If at any time you need to, you're going to go ahead, send those hips back to the heels. Balasana, if the arms will stay extended, that's fine. If stack them. And just breathe here. You're going to take about 3 to 5 breaths, just like in that stabilizing standing series where just hanging, that's what you get to do in this Balasana. Just acknowledge that there's nothing to eliminate, there's nothing to get rid of. In a way, you know, in the practice, there is this belief of having enough just the way you are. Everything else that we surround ourselves with is kind of an excess. But as long as we're living and breathing humans, there are things that are helpful and necessary. So when possible, you get to eliminate stuff. And what I would say is this is a great posture for thinking about what's not necessary. Mm-hmm. And again, try and smile again. You don't have to show your teeth. My forehead's resting on my arms. And then from here, I'm going to come up and sit on my heels. I'm going to move this at a diagonal a little bit. I'm going to put my hands back behind me. I am actually attempting to let my front thighs stretch. So my tailbone and my sit bone, that's sitting on my heels. This is lifting off my heels. This is not asana, but I am being as active as I can, keeping my chin on my chest, letting that breath again move through this, putting the hips back down on the heels, moving the hands forward, and then micro lifting the knees. And this micro lift on the knees, this has to do with stretching the shin bone, stretching out this part of the ankle and the foot. I sometimes try to separate my feet so my feet aren't touching when I do this so that I get a very different kind of stretch. And then from this place, I'm going to tuck my toes under, sit on the heels, smile. Don't do lion's breath. Just smile while you do this, and maybe you'll feel going, yes, you like. And then take the malasana. So this malasana, free up some of that energy that's in the arch of the foot, letting that energy drop off the sacrum. We haven't done back bends per se, but we were holding back up on top of the hips. So just be aware that there could be a buildup of energy. And so let's let that dissolve. And then those knees are going to come back down, and we're going to let the body sit to one side. I'm going to move a tiny bit closer just because it makes it a little bit easier to share. So take a breath and sitting in that mermaid. See if you can sit in that mermaid. Find that comfort in that mermaid. Yeah. Oh, there's light on the screen. So, got that hip to one side. I may have changed my hips. You got that hip to one side. Stretch those arms up. Take a twist in either direction. I don't care which way you go. Right now, I'm turning away from my feet. And just feel that twist. And again, let that breath happen. Inhale and exhale. You can feel it. I'm coming back to center because I can feel how the hip flexor up at the top there is not quite ready yet. Inhale again. Smile as you exhale. Release those arms. Release the jaw. You're going to pick up that leg that's on the outside, cross it over. I cross my hands here and I'm just sort of supporting myself and making a bit of, this is a bit of a bandha. I'm crossing my hands over my knee and I'm just allowing myself to lengthen as best I can. It's putting a stretch on my arms. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then I'm going to release this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into easy pose. This leg that was up on top, I'm going to let it cross in front of my ankle. I'm going to push down, maybe lift my hips, and then let my hands come to rest. Inhale and exhale here. Now, the other knee is going to replace this leg. So I'm back in the mermaid. I'm going to stretch my arms up. I'm going to see if I can twist away again. Oh, it's hard. Not even into a bigger mermaid. We're just keeping the legs close together and letting it twist. Coming back to that center line. I'm releasing those arms, holding on to that leg that's forward, crossing, and then once again, I'm crossing my arms. And this is a bit of a bandha. This is not a posture where if I hold my bottom knee, I can twist. I can do a little bit, but this is mostly to just sort of pull my shoulders down and make my neck longer, tilt the chin down, put a weird smile in there again. Let those teeth separate. We're aiming for the Catherine Hepburn in there. Let that place behind your eyes, if you're attempting that smile, let that smile all the way up behind the eyes. And then you'll release this, and then this leg will come and cross in front of the opposite leg. And again, you can push down, lift up, and put it back down. Right. So now the knee is going to lift. It's going to come in alignment, and this is going to be more of a seated posture. This buttock, my buttock is not touching the ground here. You're just going to sit, and I'm just letting my hands rest. Now, this is not an easy pose to do. If the back can't find its core or its center, this is not an easy posture. And I'm considering this a Tara posture. This is one of the Buddhas. And so I'm letting this sort of try to emulate out of my heart. Inhale and exhale. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to let this foot heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, push that leg out. And then I'm bringing this ankle in, and I'm going to just side bend, side bend, side bend. You could lift this arm, lift the elbows, stretch the arm. You could try and aim. Right now, this is all I'm doing. I'm doing bent elbow so that I can breathe into that armpit, into that lymph system.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
good.
if you can insert smile, insert smile. I know this is hard. If it hurts, then you do a grin, you know, some side of maniacal grin.
Okay.
Now we're going to add alternate nostril breathing here. So my right hand is going to close my right nostril. If this is not your left leg, but you've switched, it's going to be the opposite. You're going to inhale 3 times and exhale. Go as slow as you possibly can. Take a breath. This is so. Take a breath. Let that breath happen. And then release yourself. And bring that leg back. Now you can come back to this arm resting on that knee, or you can close it and open up Big Mermaid. I haven't done this inside channel, but if you want to go over the knee, you can. Let your arms crawl forward. Let the neck go. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. The hands are going to walk back in. You're going to retract, open into full Baddha Konasana, right? You see where that Baddha Konasana is. If you want, you can do the forward stretch with the arms extended. This is big on the inside of those legs. So just know you're talking to those inner hip flexors. This, and then bring the other leg up and then see if you can, right? So this is really, for me, I am actually so off balance on this side. It might be that the land is slanting, so I'm actually having to put my hand down. Just be aware that there are these really subtle anomalies that test us, right? Pose opposite side, but for some reason it feels much more unstable. Feels much more unstable to me. Take a breath in, let it go. And then I'm going to slowly heel toe that foot out. I'm going to push that foot out into an extension. I'm going to stretch and extend and extend. And again, I'm using the bent elbow because I'm trying to focus in on the lymph in my armpits and in my neck. And then look for smile. Smile, smile, smile. Pushing against the shin bone is just fine. You can push into the leg. You know, some people have to lean forward. Some people can lean back. Some people can be right in that middle spot between front and back. Give it one more breath. And then you're going to go ahead. You're going to bring this hand down, close opposite nostril, 3 breaths as slow as you can. Check your jawline. Don't let your teeth grind. This practice of not letting the jaw hold our tension is a huge practice. And then let that release, let that leg come back in, right? Heel toe. See if you can reestablish that Tara to the opposite side. Sitting, waiting, but essentially the theory is these characters that you see in these postures, the reason one leg is up is because they're ready to actually go do something, right? So you're ready to actually get up and be of help. When you're ready here, you're going to close this down. You're going to open up that big mermaid. I'm going in between my knees, but if you want to turn and go over the knee, go right ahead. Forward folding in between. Let the neck go. Smile while you're down here. Oh, tingles. And then very slowly, you walk this back up. You retract this leg. You open it into the Baddha Konasana again. So Baddha Konasana. I'm going to just do a curved forward fold here and let that breathe. And sit this up. Now, this next series, I still do the alternate nostril breathing, but you could move this into pigeon when we're done with the alternate nostril breathing. I'll take you. Rotate, open. Let's do this opening first. Forward fold. Inhale back up. I'm doing this with no arms. I'm retracting that leg, opening, heel toe, pushing that leg out, lateral. I'm just like sweeping over, but I'm not staying. This is where this becomes a little bit more water oriented. Hand comes, alternate nostril. Nice and slow, slow everything down, especially the exhale. And then from here, that leg will retract. Baddha Konasana, you could stretch it, opening those thighs a little bit more. You know, there's the variation where if your knees don't drop, just hold your knees and chin drops. And then from here, rotate, open. I'm going to do that forward fold, no arms. Empty out that breath. Inhale back up again. Bring that leg back. Slide that heel out. Make a sweeping motion, right? It's just this nice slow sweeping motion that it comes up and you come into the alternate nostril again. And I want to do that same series over again one more time. So get those 3 breaths in before you switch. It doesn't matter if they're full breaths and deep. It's more important if you have a little bit of control over them and you can slow them. Check your jaw, teeth should be separated. Baddha Konasana. I'm going to do that same stretch again on this side. And then we'll move back through. Knee up. But this time, when you go to Big Mermaid, if you feel like stretching, you can stretch this back. I'm going to upward facing pigeon. Just for a breath. You can fold. You can lift it back up. I'm going to let this rotate back. Coming back through that center line. I'm going to retract, open, side bend again, right? That side bend's going to happen again. Make a sweeping motion, let your breath follow it, and come back. Alternate nostril. And then release that. Let that come up. Pass through the Baddha Konasana again if it makes sense. I'm just going to keep hands on my ankles, lean back a little bit. And then I'm going to start that series on the other side. Last time, knee up, knee down. Big Mermaid, you get to explore and see if you want to find that upward facing pigeon or you want to fold this down. Oh. And then coming back through the mermaid. Open. This is happening a little better now. Let that slide out. Opening again. Sweeping it open again. And then last round of alternate nostril. Inhale and exhale. Let the hands come down. Let this leg come back. Baddha Konasana, any variation that suits you. Then what you'll do is you're going to bring the knees together. I'm turning sideways. I'm putting my feet are about hip width apart. I'm putting my hands down. All I'm doing is lifting the hips, putting them down. But you can lift the hips. You can push into the feet. You can swing your hips back if your arms are long enough, right? So you can swing back and forth. So I want to make sure that if we're doing this rotation in the hip, we're also doing it in the other direction. But if all you get is just hands down, knees bent, lift your buttocks, that's good. That's excellent. After you've done that a few times, you're gonna take a moment here. I just want you to walk your hips back and then walk them forward a couple of inches. I'm pushing through my heels and then walk them back again, right? Each sit bone's gonna walk back, right? Let's give these hip flexors every range of motion that they deserve. Right? And then walk back. And then once you've walked back that last time, you're going to go ahead and you get to either set yourself up so that you can rest with your legs elevated or with your chest elevated. Just have those things close at hand. I was even thinking, if you have not used your balls to massage your shoulders, get your massage your shoulders.